Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be finding out what the next big blessing is to come into your life. And as you can see, I have these little papers under each group. I got the fortune papers again. Maybe some of you guys remember or watched this video, but many months back I did another blessing reading and I got these little fortune papers from a trip that I went on to northern Japan. They're cute and funny and they make a nice little segment in the reading, so we're gonna use them again today. And I will include them in the option selection. I'll show them up close because you might be drawn to the design of a certain fortune paper. But let's get into it. Let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. There are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today. I will be showing you the crystal, the back artwork of the tarot deck, the front artwork. There will also be a random card associated with each group, so that might be something that you are drawn to. And then, of course, the fortune paper. So there's many different factors today to choose your group. If you do feel drawn to more than one group today, you are definitely welcome to listen to more than one reading. In fact, if you are drawn to multiple, that's likely a sign that you are receiving many, many blessings in this next chapter of your life. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the options. Number 1s, you have Titanium Aura Quartz, the Tarot of the Pagan Cats, and this red floral fortune paper. And your random card is the 9 of Wands. Number 2s, you have Aquamarine, the Way of the Panda Tarot, this fortune paper that says fantastic on it. And your random card is Justice. Number 3s, you have this Moonstone Starfish, the Divine Feminine Tarot, and this green floral fortune paper. And your random card is the Page of Cups. And number 4s, you have this Rose Quartz Merkaba, the Gentle Heart Tarot, this pink fortune paper with unicorns and planets and constellations on it. And your random card is the King of Cups. Okay, so these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one or ones are calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Titanium Aura, this is going to be your reading all about your next big blessing. This is the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we're going to start by taking a look at your fortune paper. Then we're going to take a look at these oracle cards to see the nature of your blessing or multiple blessings that are coming your way. And then we will get into the tarot that you guys chose, the Tarot of the Pagan Cats, to see more details about what specifically these blessings entail, how they're going to come into your life, what your life is going to be like after that. We could also get any advice that your spirit guides have, if they have any for you. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see the likely timing of this blessing coming into your life. We'll also see what could affect this timing, so what could possibly speed things up or what could possibly slow things down. And then at the end, we will answer one yes, no, or maybe question of your choice. So that is the reading today. Let's get into your fortune paper. I just want to mention, if you guys did watch my previous video where I used these, I remember them being kind of silly. So these are not to be taken too seriously. It's just something that we're doing for fun. Although there could be some messages of confirmation for you in here. So let's see what my group number 1s have. Okay, so your luck, it says you have half half good luck, and we have a score of 50 out of 100 here. So you may be in a phase where your life where things don't seem to be going super great, but they're also not going terrible either. Let's see what message this card has for you. I'm gonna roughly translate it. Your message says, every living thing, no matter how small, has a soul inside of them the same size as yours, and that if you help smaller beings, then this will create good karma for you in your next life. So I guess it's kind of giving the feeling of helping animals or helping smaller creatures, and this giving you good karma. Interesting message. In terms of your message, it says, love is not a difficult thing, and that you can find love anywhere, or like any way of finding love is okay. So there may be a message to not worry about the specific way that love comes into your life. You can find it in so many different places. See, this is what I mean by these fortune papers being kind of silly. When it comes to your luck in terms of your cognitive abilities, it says that you're gonna forget the name of a celebrity and just give up. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, come on, like, what's that actor's name? You know, the one, they look like this and they were in that movie. I'll forget it. I can't remember. And you're gonna give up. If you change your name, you should change your name to Kento or Midori. So Kento is a guy's name, and the character here means like healthy, and then the girl's name Midori means green. A job that you would be good at is an actor, which is funny because I just use actor in that example. In a parallel universe, you are, I'm assuming this is like a mermaid or a mer person, because it says a half fish person. So you're a mermaid in another world. In terms of your zodiac compatibility, it says that you should marry a Sagittarius, your best friend should be a Gemini, you should date a Scorpio, and your pet should be a Cancer. In your past life, you were Mao Zedong. In your life before that, you were a white rhinoceros. And in your life before that, you were a Neanderthal. Your lucky color is pure white. Your lucky food is seaweed soup. Your lucky place is a station. Your lucky item is calcium. Your lucky proverb is nothing lasts forever. And your lucky phrase is like, it's out of the question, it's out of sight. So those are interesting together, like maybe, and also with pure white, it's like wiping the slate clean, nothing lasts forever, we're releasing something, and out of the question, we're not going back, we're starting completely fresh. Even with your lucky place being a station, kind of feels like you are ready to move on. Okay, so this was your fortune paper. Oh, and also your fortune paper is number 90, so that could be a relevant number for this group. But now let's get into your oracle cards to see the nature of this blessing that is coming your way. So we are starting off with the goddess of omnipotence and the goddess of omniscience, if that's how you pronounce it, and this represents your higher self. We have wisdom. We have the treasure dragon, and it says that you are getting rid of insecurity. And then we have unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. Wow, so there actually is a common theme between this fortune paper and your oracle cards, that you are about to venture into a completely unknown territory, a completely new phase of your life. Even with this card having snow on it, this pure white snow, it is symbolic of like a clean fresh blanket being placed over your life, and you can create something completely new. There may be a blessing for this group where you are being freed from commitments of your past that no longer resonate with you. Like your higher self wants you to know that you will not be stuck with these commitments. You can be freed from them. If perhaps looking back, you feel like you took a wrong turn at some point in your life, like you made a mistake and you're worried that that's going to affect you moving forward, I do feel like you're going to be liberated from that. You will not have to be weighed down by anything in your past, whether that's like your past choices, your past mistakes, your past commitments, your past challenges. Today, moving forward, or this chapter moving forward, is a completely fresh start for you. There could also be, I do believe there's an improvement in your financial situation coming in this next chapter. That's what the treasure dragon is making me think. But your higher self is coming through very, very strongly in these cards. For one, we literally have this card talking about your higher self next to wisdom. So emphasizing your higher self as a being that holds a lot of wisdom, the most important wisdom for your life. And then we have the number 35, which you guys might know, maybe you've heard me say this before, but the numbers 3 and 5 together, that always makes me think of like the third dimension and the fifth dimension. So, you know, you existing here in this dimension as a human and your connection to your higher self. Your higher self is coming through really strongly here and just wanting to emphasize how closely connected you are to them, because you are them at the end of the day. And I feel like your soul's guidance has been really present with you, especially during this chapter of your life. And your higher self is your primary source of guidance. If you do your own readings, or if you watch many other readings, you may hear messages about like, oh, your spirit guides are saying this, or your spiritual team is saying this. And I feel like that guidance is often coming from your own soul, and your own soul would say that you are a blessing to them. You as your human self is a blessing to them, and they're very grateful for the connection that you have. They're very grateful for the lessons that you are helping them integrate, like on the work that you're doing here on the ground, so to speak, as a human. And I think another blessing coming to you is feeling this connection more strongly, and that giving you confidence as you move forward in life, that giving you faith. This card is talking about you getting rid of an insecurity. So I feel like for any of you who have struggled with like questioning if you're in the right place, questioning if you're on the right path, questioning, is this guidance coming through really my higher self? Is this really my intuition? I do feel like those worries are more or less dissolving in this chapter of your life, and you are so confident in your connection with your soul, in the fact that the guidance you're receiving is sound, is divine, and it's like nothing could shake you from that. The confidence that you're cultivating in your higher self and in the guidance you're receiving is unshakable. You recognize the wisdom that is coming through, and that's definitely a blessing that's going to spill out into many different areas of your life. I feel like with this book coming to life as well, this is really a chapter of your life where you get to create the story, you get to create the narrative. I feel like this is a chapter of your life where free will is really coming in, and you're choosing a new adventure. You could actually be literally going into unknown territory, like you could be visiting a place, visiting a part of the world that you have never been before, and finding exciting adventures there. Like I said, I do think there's opportunity for abundance here. In terms of symbols of your higher self, an owl could be a symbol of your higher self, or I believe this is a chickadee down here. That could also be a symbol of your higher self. So let's get into your tarot and just get some more details about this energy. What else does group number 1 need to know about their blessings? So we are starting off with the Chariot. Oh my goodness. The Two of Cups. The Three of Swords. The Star. Wow. A card which almost fell on the floor. It is the Knight of Wands. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. Okay. So where do I start? I think we just go in order. Actually, I think we start with the bottom of the deck energy. In this next chapter of your life, there is victory. If there's a big goal that you have been working towards, the Six of Wands is indicating the accomplishment of this goal. Or if there's not a specific goal that you have in mind right now, this is indicating reaching an important milestone in your life, or overall feeling a sense of victory and accomplishment and pride. This is also indicating a sense of like confidence and a boosted self-esteem, feeling very good about yourself. And whatever it is that you're accomplishing here, there's people watching. So this could be people in your life applauding you for your accomplishments, celebrating you. It could also be an audience on a larger scale, especially because we have the Star here. I don't know if some of you guys are wanting to build a following or be famous in some way, but these are two cards that very much indicate that. And also the Chariot, because the Chariot can talk about public recognition. So for those of you who are wanting to gain a following or gain an audience, I do feel like this is a strong confirmation that this is coming. But if not, I do think that these cards are representing the people around you being proud of you and celebrating your accomplishment. There's like a big goal that you've reached or a milestone that you've reached. I also want to say, the year, wait, I need to count a little bit. The year 2026 could be very significant to this group. Like you could be reaching a peak of success in your life or a peak of happiness in your life around that year. Now, looking at the Chariot, when this card came out, I was wondering if there was going to be a message about like a significant soul partner or a divine counterpart, because we had just finished talking a lot about your higher self. And then if you look at this card, we have the higher self here, and then we have these two beings underneath. And I thought, okay, I wonder if this is like a divine partner situation. And then what came out right after that? The freaking Two of Cups. So yes, for a lot of you, a blessing is coming in the form of a partner, in the form of a union. If you are already in a committed relationship, this could be indicating like the next level of your union. If there is a next level, of course, like engagement, marriage, something like that. Or of course, if you do not have someone in your life at this time, this would be a strong indication of this person coming into your life. For those of you who do resonate with the idea of like sharing a soul, because there is one being at the top here, this could be a confirmation of that. However, I think for most of you who chose this group, it is indicating that you and a partner share a spirit guide, or you share many same members of your spiritual team. With the Star here, this could also be an indication of you having the same star origins, of you sharing past lives in places other than Earth, like this being a member of your star family. I do see that very often. And of course, this union doesn't have to be romantic either, but it is two souls coming together who have a very, very special bond, who make each other feel seen and understood, kind of in a way that others can't. I want to say as well, Cancer energy seems to be quite significant. We have two Cancer cards in a row, so there could be a person coming in who has strong Cancer placements. We also have Aquarius, Leo, and Libra energy here, which could be significant. But yeah, there's definitely There's definitely a partnership coming in. And also for those of you who do have a partner in your life and you've been facing some kind of obstacles with them, whether that's like interpersonal problems, or you and your partner have been facing tough external circumstances, like you've been facing obstacles in your life or obstacles to being together, I do feel like those obstacles are going to be removed. We do have the Three of Swords here, which is a card that talks about like pain, suffering, disappointment. And then we have the Star next to it, which talks about a bright future and having hope for the future. So I do want to tell this group that for those of you who are in pain, there is a brighter day on the horizon, and what is waiting for you on the other side of this pain is more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. The Star, and even in the major arcana of tarot, the Star is the card that comes after the Tower. So after it feels like everything in our life has fallen apart, the Star is like the ray of hope that things can and will get better. So I love that this has come out after kind of a painful card. Like there is happiness on the other side of this pain, and it's better than you've ever imagined. I also even think in some ways you could be seeing, it's not that you're seeing your pain as a blessing, but I think your capacity to feel this pain, because that's what makes you human, and that's what allows you to empathize with others. And maybe your pain moves you into like helping other people, or your pain moves you into taking positive actions. And I think you'll realize like it's a blessing to be able to feel this deeply, and just as deeply as you can feel pain, sadness, grief, anger, and those tough emotions, it makes you able to feel joy and love and excitement and inner peace just as intensely. It's like when your emotional capacity expands, it expands in all directions. And the deeper you can feel emotions on this end of the spectrum, the deeper you can feel on this end. And maybe that's just like another way of saying you need to know the dark to know the light, but I think you're really feeling your own emotions as a blessing, and also because there's such a beautiful form of guidance for you. Like even the tough emotions provide excellent guidance for you. There is definitely a feeling of a wish close to your heart coming true here, with the Star literally representing a wish coming true, and the Six of Wands representing like victory, accomplishment, feeling proud of yourself. This may be one of those things that is different for everyone who chose this group, but there definitely is a very deep and significant wish of yours that is coming true. I also think there could be a wish of yours that is coming true for the collective. If there's something heavy that weighs on your heart when it comes to like your society, your town, your country, your world, the state of humankind, the environment, the animals, like if there's something in the collective, especially something that really weighs on you, that maybe you spend a lot of time thinking about, that maybe even makes you sad, like one of your wishes is coming true for the collective, because this is like Aquarius 11th house energy. This is the collective. This is the community at large. So just for one example, maybe you are, something that weighs on you a lot is like the oceans, the state of the oceans, the pollution of the oceans, how human activity is a danger to marine life, the coral reefs, the marine animals. Like that might be something you really, and you might actually have an affinity for the ocean, because we did have that message of you being like a mer person in another world. So maybe that example is not so random, but like if that's something that really weighs on you, then there could be a wish coming true where maybe there's like new regulations that are put in place, or like a certain kind of species is saved, or like a population is being restored. some wish of yours in that regard could be coming true when it comes to like human rights as well, or when it comes to like mental health resources for the people. I'm just thinking of many different examples right now, of course, but some collective wish like that I think is coming true for you as well. And then these two cards together are just very much giving a vibe of confidence. I think something that might be shifting in you is coming out of your shell more. I'm not going to speculate about whether this group is introverted or extroverted because I don't think it matters, but I do think you're coming out of your shell more and maybe finding that more than before you are enjoying like going out and socializing, and you're actually getting energy from social interactions. This shift will especially feel significant if you have identified as an introvert mostly. Noticing that you're wanting to like go out and talk to people, and that it's actually making you feel more alive, and that it's something you're really enjoying, and maybe you don't feel as tired afterwards. You know, that will probably be like a very notable change. And I think a big part of that could be anxieties are kind of dissolving. If you're someone who finds social interactions tiring, one of the big reasons for that could be because of anxiety and like overthinking all of your interactions. Worrying takes a lot of mental energy. So if you're having a conversation with someone and you're constantly worrying about, was that thing that I just said weird? Did I say something wrong? Are they bored with my story? Did that come across right? What are they thinking of me right now? And then you go home and keep thinking about that interaction. Like, yeah, that's going to drain you. And I think that those anxieties are getting better. Those anxieties are healing. And you're able to just be in the moment when you're talking to someone, and you're able to just have fun. And I do think that's just a shift in you that's happening in general. But it could also be because you're surrounded by soul family, and so you just naturally feel comfortable. But it's this feeling of, wow, like socializing is a lot less draining when I'm not constantly overthinking what I'm gonna say, and I'm just in the moment and appreciating this moment of connection with another person. It actually becomes something that's really like beautiful and energizing for me. And as a result, that might allow you to do more networking. You know, we have messages about recognition, being in the public eye or being seen, being in the spotlight, the community, the collective. There could also be a message of you networking here, making connections for creative pursuits, for your career, for business endeavors, and you also getting to help other people network. You might meet people and think, oh my gosh, these two people should meet each other. They would work together really well. And that's actually something that's happened for me recently, where I've gotten to see like two creatives who I really like and admire, and gotten to like introduce them and see them work together. And it's like, it just makes me so happy. Like, it makes my heart so full. So that process of facilitating connection and getting to watch the people in your circle inspire each other and fulfill each other, I think that's also something that will be really nice for you. So I do think becoming more like social, more outgoing, more connected, more active in your network, and more involved in your community is another blessing for you that you will really enjoy. So there's a lot of stuff coming up for this group, and it looks like a really beautiful and fulfilling time of your life. And I want to say I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of how far you've come. And so we are going to take it over to the extended reading now, where we are going to see, since we talked about a lot of blessings, I will let you guys pick the one blessing you would like to know the timing of. When is this going to happen? And we will get a timing prediction for that blessing. We will also see what could affect this timing, what could speed things up, what could slow things down. And then finally, we will answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me over in the extended, I'm gonna have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and literally anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. Thank you so much, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. I am sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Aquamarine, this is going to be a reading all about your next big blessing. Here is the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today. We are going to start off by taking a look at your fortune paper. Then we're going to look at these oracle cards to see the nature of your blessing or multiple blessings. Then we are going to get into the deck that you guys chose, the Way of the Panda Tarot, to get more details about the type of blessings coming, how they'll manifest, what your life is going to be like, and if there's any advice from your spirit guides, we will get it in this part of the reading as well. Then in the extended, we are going to see when your blessing is likely to happen. We are also going to see what could speed up or slow down this timing. And then we are going to answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice. So that is the reading today. Let's start off with your fortune paper. I do just want to mention, if you watched my video previously where we use these, you will remember that they are kind of silly. So this is not to be taken too seriously. This is just a little thing that we're doing at the start of the reading for fun. But with that being said, there could be some messages of confirmation for you in here. So let's see what we have. Ooh, there's other words on here. We had fantastic. There's also believe and dream and fancy. Okay. And happy. So, oh my goodness. Jeez, I have not seen this one before. You have very, very, very good luck. Your score is 500 out of 100. So congratulations. And your fortune paper is number 6. So that could be a significant number for this group. Oh my goodness. So the message here, it starts off by saying, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change anything, because this is a time where even if you're literally doing nothing, happiness is gonna find you. Happiness is gonna come to you. This literally says like it's coming from the other side. So you could think of this as, like, for example, if there's another person involved, they're coming towards you, you don't have to come towards them, or just life is gonna bring it to you. I can translate it like that. Life is going to bring happiness to you even if you're literally doing nothing. So in terms of your love message, it says there are currently 100 people who think you are absolutely amazing. So you have a lot of admirers. In terms of your like cognitive or intellectual luck, again, even if you don't do anything, you are just naturally a complete genius. You don't even have to try. Then if you change your name, it says you should change your name to Linn or Haruna. So Ren means lotus, and Haruna, this is like the sun or sunlight. It's actually the character for yang, like of yin and yang, because it's like light or the sun. And then Na is a kind of flower, I think. Then for a job that you would be good at, it says you should be the head of a company or you should be a bullet train driver. In another world, so like in a parallel universe, you are, I think this is like you are like some kind of warrior or fighter, but I'm going to look it up just to make sure. A martial artist. Yes, you are a strong martial artist. In terms of your zodiac compatibility, it says that you should marry a Sagittarius, you should be best friends with a Libra, you should date a Cancer, and your pet should be a Capricorn. Okay, in a past life, you were, I don't know who this is. This is a Japanese person. 1 second. In your past life, you were this person, Okita Soji, Japanese samurai. Okita Soji was the captain of the first unit of the Shinsengumi, a special police force in Kyoto during the late shogunate period. He was one of the best swordsmen of the Shinsengumi and was alive in the Edo period in the 1800s. That's you in a past life. And then before that, you were an African elephant. And before that, you were Piraruku. You were this. It appears to be a fish. Before that, you were this. A species of Arapaima native to the basin of the Amazon River. Once believed to be the sole species in the genus, it is among the largest freshwater fish. Oh, this is you in your past life. Your lucky food is seaweed. Your lucky place is on top of a pedestrian bridge. Your lucky item is a straw. Your lucky proverb is kind of something like telepathy, which is interesting. And then your lucky phrase, so this is of course like a Japanese language thing, but this is like a phrase ending that kind of emphasizes what you're saying. Yeah, so there's your fortune paper. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards now and see what blessings are in store for you. My 500 out of 100 good luck group. Let's see what we have. So we are starting off with the goddess of Enceladus, which this is one of Saturn's moons. And it says supporters of the universe's light and co-creation. We have passion, live passionately. We have the auspicious dragon, an unbelievable miracle is happening. Wow, this group is strong. And then we have finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. Okay, there's a couple things I have to say right away for this group. The first thing is that I do feel Archangel Michael's presence strongly around this group. So he could be helping you at this time or could be just in general with you all the time. Also, this auspicious dragon, this is the first card that I pulled from this deck when I first got it. And I remember that I was doing a reading for my boyfriend that had to do with like real estate and like getting property. So I thought that that could be relevant to this group. And then right next to it, we have finding sanctuary. And there's this building here. So for some of you guys, there could be a blessing that is coming in the form of like buying or selling a home or moving, or even like if you are looking to have a career in real estate or architecture or something to do with homes and buildings, or if you're looking at like renting an office, anything to do with real estate and properties, you could be blessed in that area. You could also be blessed in terms of your physical environment. So there could be changes happening in your physical environment, or you could be relocating to an environment that is very conducive to your inner peace, and that is conducive to you being focused and productive and being inspired. If you already know of a place like that, if there's like a particular studio or office or cafe, or maybe it's even the great outdoors where you feel the most like in the flow and you can get your best work done, I feel like you will be spending a lot of time in that place. There's an emphasis on physical environment here, which is very beautiful. Now, going over here, this is a lovely message as well. It's interesting that this is like a moon of Saturn. That in itself could be a sign. If I think of a moon of Saturn, it makes me think of like moon in Capricorn or moon in Aquarius, because those are signs that are ruled by Saturn. So you or someone significant could have those placements. But I'm also thinking of Saturn as your hard work and your discipline. And you're like this moon that's going around Saturn. What I think this is indicating for my group number 2s is that you're likely the type of person who finds it hard to like stick to habits or to like commit to a project or to stay driven and disciplined if your heart isn't in it. Like if you don't have some kind of emotional attachment to the work that you're doing, or you just don't care about it, I feel like you're not the type of person who can be disciplined like just for the sake of being disciplined. There needs to be some kind of emotional fulfillment that comes with that. With passion right next to this, I could even say that some of you, it's very hard for you to do work that you're not passionate about. And I think this is something that you need to be aware of, because you could falsely label yourself as like a lazy person or feel like there's something wrong with you because you can't like force yourself to do unfulfilling work, or it's like it really affects you if you're stuck in work like that. And this is not something to judge yourself for. It's just something to be aware of so that you can choose paths that serve you and that light you up and that lend themselves to this aspect of your personality. It's like when you do find something that you're really passionate about, you can do an excellent job at it. And I think that, with all of these unicorns, I often talk about unicorns representing like embracing what makes you unique. And I think this group has maybe spent too long like trying to squish yourself into boxes that were never meant for you, because you were meant to fly free like this unicorn. And it's not that you can't be a hard worker. It's not that you can't be disciplined. It's that you are rightfully selective about that. It's like if you don't feel the passion, if you don't feel emotionally connected to what you're doing, like it's just not going to work. And that's something that I think you are being encouraged to honor, and something that will bring blessings into your life when you do honor it. And because this is a reading about blessings, perhaps what these cards are saying is that you will find that thing that lights you up, that you're passionate about, and that can, monetarily sustain you. And also this card is talking about co-creation, and, there's not just one, but several unicorns flying around the earth here. So another blessing of yours could be finding like the group of coworkers or the group of collaborators or like your fellow light workers on earth who inspire you and who light up this passion in you. With this being an unbelievable miracle, I genuinely feel like you're entering into a path where you wake up every day and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is what I get to do for a living. Like, I can't believe that I just get to wake up and do this every day. And it is possible for you to find that. It's not too good to be true. Your spiritual team wants you to know that you do not have to settle. So with that, let's get into your tarot. let's get some more details about this energy, or if there's any other blessings we should know about. They can also make themselves known in this part of the reading. What else do my group number 2s need to know? I should also mention the numbers 30 and 38 could be significant. These could be ages of your life that will be significant if they're coming up for you when you're 30 or when you're 38 years old. Or honestly, it could be this whole period. Like your whole 30s could be like a super blessed time in your life. There could also be a significant person, like just thinking of 30 and 38 years old, there could also be a significant person with whom you share an 8-year age gap. Your first tarot card is the Fool. Then we have the Tower. The Nine of Swords. The Five of Swords. The Page of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Cups. So the final outcome for you guys, which this makes so much sense because you got, I'm guessing this is the best luck you can get from this fortune paper, the very, very, very good luck. And then we finish off with our bottom of the deck energy being the Ten of Cups, which is like the happiest card in the deck. This is your happily ever after, having everything you could ever need and more. It's really sweet that we see the panda with their little one. This could be symbolic of a few things. For some of you, this could be indicating that you are fulfilling a dream that you've had since childhood, like of what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with the world. And I almost see for a lot of you, this is you lifting up little you, like your child self. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional being like, we did it, buddy. Like, I know that you've been discouraged at times and maybe you were made to feel like this world wasn't made for you at times, but there is a place for you in this world, and there is a place where you are wanted and loved and where your talents are recognized. And like, I'm so happy I never gave up on you, and I'm so proud of you, and we did it. Like, this is you uplifting your like little you and letting little you know that they were always beautiful and there is never anything wrong with them, and they just needed the right support. And little you still very much exists within you, and even the child, the younger version of you, the teen version of you that exists in the past can benefit from love you send them right now, because the way we perceive time isn't real. Like, it's all happening now, and you can send love to this past version of you. This could also be a blessing that has to do with children. If you have children or you desire children, this could be indicating that you will be welcoming a little one into your life. Or if you already have a child, one of the blessings could be like something good happening to your child. Like if there's a certain wish that you have for your children, this could indicate that wish is coming true. And of course, for those of you who do not have children or do not plan on having children, I think this is little you. It could also be like a non-human little one, like a companion animal that maybe you are reuniting with, or that you are like welcoming a new companion animal into your home. For those of you who have an animal who crossed over to the other side, they may actually be like coming back again, reincarnating again to be with you. But in any case, this is representing complete happiness and emotional fulfillment with you. And I love that this is your bottom of the deck energy, because that makes it like the main theme for you. And what I do see here Oh my gosh, wow. This is really telling a story. Even the repetition of this bamboo thing, where here we see this bamboo is snapping and falling apart, and then here the panda is like growing new bamboo. I feel like it's so symbolic. This is all giving the feeling of you not finding your purpose, but finding a way to do your purpose that is sustainable. That, because I think this group, it's like, you know what you love, you know what you want to do, and maybe you do need confirmation that that is in fact what you're meant to do, and that you shouldn't feel ashamed for wanting to do with your life what you want to do, and you should fully pursue it with all of your heart. I think this is about finding the right profession or finding the right approach that allows you to carry out your purpose in a way that fuels you, in a way that fulfills you, in a way that sustains you, so that it's not just like you're like feeding the machine or like exploiting your gifts. It's a way that's sustainable and feels good to you. And there is a feeling with the Page of Pentacles of starting fresh or of starting something new. So some of you could be going through a career change, starting a new venture, a new project, a new business. You could be going to school even, or going back to school. It's like the start of a new professional or academic journey that's going to allow you to live a more fulfilling life. And there's strong emphasis on avoiding burnout and avoiding like exploiting your energy in a way that just doesn't feel good. So the story that these cards tell, we can see here with the Fool, you're setting off on a new journey. The Fool does kind of have this feeling of going into unprecedented territories or taking a leap of faith. And what I think is happening here with the Tower is that when you initially set out on this journey, I think you do have a safety net. But then once you go a certain distance, after some time, that safety net disappears. And then you start to worry, and then you start to panic, and you're like, oh shit, what have I done? I made a mistake. But this is really just your brain psyching you out. And if you keep going on your path, you will be successful. And it's funny because it's like, when you were on this journey, you felt good about it. You felt like, this is awesome, this is fun, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. And then the second your safety net is gone, or your backup plan, your plan B is gone, your brain changes its tune and is like, we made a mistake, we should have never done this. Because it's just like a knee-jerk reaction of like the part of your brain that wants safety. And I think you just need to be aware of this, like of this trick that is going to play on you. I don't know if my example completely fits with this, but I'm just remembering a conversation that I had with like the administration at my school when I decided to take a year off. I had to like have a meeting with them, and they were saying that actually I am allowed to take up to 2 years off, but they don't recommend doing that because sometimes the curriculum changes at the school. And if the curriculum changes while I'm gone, then I won't be able to come back, because it's like I won't be up to speed with like what's going on in the program. Not that I'm gonna do the 2-year thing, but in this example, like let's say this Fool is me, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a break from school, and I'm gonna try to start my own business. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm gonna go back to school. But then while I'm gone, the school changes their curriculum, and so I can't go back to school now. And I'm like, shit, that was my plan B. And now that I feel like this plan A has to work, now I'm scared. like now the pressure is on, like I'm feeling it now. So I guess you can apply that same energy to many different things, but it's that feeling of, uh-oh, like our backup plan just went up in flames, so we have no choice but to make this work now. And it's, I guess, like, be aware of the way your brain shifts. Because with the Nine of Swords, I really do feel like it will go into a panic mode when it doesn't have to. This is like, I think this is how you feel when you feel like your safety net is gone. But I think what the universe wants you to realize is that this plan B was never your safety net, because it wasn't actually something that you wanted at the end of the day. I think it was something that you chose to conform, or to be what others expected of you. Like, if being myself doesn't work, then I can go back to this plan B, almost like to save face, or so that I can go back to being this conforming member of society. But it was never something you really wanted. That's what it feels like. And I think when that backup plan goes away, I guess there's a moment of like, shit just got real, because now I really have to be successful. But your safety net is the universe. The universe is not going to let you fall. The universe is not going to let you fail. When you are brave enough to start a new path of authenticity, when you are brave enough to pursue your dreams, the universe will reward you. I feel like this is you. I find this Five of Swords funny because it's like a full-on brawl. And I do feel like, again, this is you to you being like, why did you do that? We made a mistake. This is the wrong path. You know, the Five of Swords, it sometimes makes me think of disalignment, and it can certainly talk about conflict. And it's just funny how your brain does that. It's like your ego will do anything in a last-ditch effort to go back to what's familiar and to go back to what's safe. But you must not listen to this voice that is saying you made a mistake and like, oh my God, look at what you did. You should have just stayed here because now you can't go back. No, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, and we're going to make it work. That's what this Page of Pentacles is showing. When the old bamboo falls apart, we are going to plant new bamboo, and it's going to thrive. And this is your new life. And this is your 10 of Cups. This is your happiness. So it may be a bit scary at times, but committing to your authenticity is one of the bravest things you can do. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, and it's the best thing that you can do for others. When you hide who you truly are, you're depriving those who need your light. You're depriving those who will be inspired by your true colors, and depriving the world of the beauty that it needs, and diversity and uniqueness. No one truly benefits from you hiding your light. There may be some people who are appeased, who are comfortable, but no one truly benefits from their soul. So please accept these words of encouragement, group number 2. I'm rooting for you. You have such good luck behind you. It's crazy. And these are all of your messages. So we're going to take it over to the extended now, where we are going to see a timing prediction of your blessing. We did talk about a few different things in this reading, but I will leave it up to you what specific event you would like to know the timing for. We will see that, and we'll see what could affect the timing of this event, what could speed things up, what could slow things down, and we will also answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to link that down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on the topics for future readings. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, group number 2, and I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading, either directly or indirectly, and I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Moonstone, this is going to be a reading all about your next big blessing. And here is the full breakdown of today's reading. We're going to have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today. And we're going to start off by taking a look at your fortune paper. Then we're going to look at these oracle cards to figure out the nature of the blessing or multiple blessings that are coming your way. And then we are going to get into the tarot that you guys chose, the Divine Feminine Tarot, to get more details about these blessings, what they entail, how they will manifest, what your life will be like, and if there's any advice from your spirit guides, we will look at it in this part of the reading. Then in the extended, we are going to see the likely timing of this blessing entering your life. We'll also see what could impact this timing, so what could speed things up or what could slow things down. And then we will answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice, including the reason. So that is our reading for today. Without further ado, let's take a look at your fortune paper. A quick note about these, if you watched the video the last time I used these, you will remember that they are quite silly. So this part of the reading is really just for fun. The messages in the fortune paper are not to be taken too seriously, although they could be a confirmation for you. So let's see what we have for my group number 3s. Okay, so right off the bat, you have fortune paper number 67. So this could be a relevant number for you. You have medium good luck. Your overall luck score is 85 out of 100. I would say that is pretty good. And your message here, I'm just going to roughly translate this. So basically what this message is saying is that time goes on, time passes. Whatever you do, time is going to pass. And I guess it's encouraging you to be mindful of how you use your time. It's saying, as the days go by, if you keep making efforts day after day, they will add up and they will ultimately lead to significant growth. And it's encouraging you to learn at least one new thing today. And it says that time passes the same way for everyone, but your growth is up to you. So, basically everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day, but what you do with that time is up to you. And even if you're just doing little things every day, it can really add up to something big. So don't underestimate the power of the efforts that you can put in today and every day. Okay, in terms of your luck in love, it says that your love biorhythm is going to be suddenly increasing. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe good luck in love is coming, and it's telling you to ride the wave and to go with the flow. Then in terms of your cognitive or intellectual luck, it says that you are going to get the second best grades in your class. So that could be a specific message for those of you who are students, or in a more general sense, this could be indicating that you are very close to your peak. You are very close to being one of the best in your field, or you are one of the best in your field. If you are to change your name, then you should change your name to Takuma, which is a man's name, and Honoka, which is a woman's name. These characters mean like to open and truth. And then these ones mean, this is like an ear of corn or wheat or rice, and fragrance, in case you were wondering. A job that you would be good at is like an emergency responder, an emergency rescuer. In another world, so like in a parallel universe, you are a master of a spear, which I guess is like a weapon. In terms of your zodiac compatibility, it says that you should marry a Capricorn, your best friend should be a Leo, you should date an Aquarius, and your pet should be a Virgo. In your past life, you were Gregor Johann Mendel, who discovered the law of genetics, I think is what it says. In your life before that, you were, this is a type of whale, a blue whale. So before you discovered the law of genetics, you were a blue whale. And then before that, you were an iguanodon, which I'm gonna guess is a dinosaur. Yes, here he is. This was you. Your lucky color is like tangerine orange. Your lucky food is, oh, this is a kind of cake, Baumkuchen. It's like a round, like this kind of round cake. That's your lucky food. Your lucky place is under a vending machine. Maybe you'll find some money under there. Your lucky item is a point card. It's a sign to start saving points. And your lucky proverb is 9 deaths, 1 life. Okay, I just looked it up and it means like a narrow escape. So that's your lucky proverb, narrowly escaping. And then this doesn't really translate because it's like your lucky phrase, but it's a Japanese language thing. So this is your fortune paper. 85% luck, very nice. So let's get into your oracle cards now to find out the nature of the blessing that is coming your way. Group number 1 got this one as well. So this card represents your higher self. It represents an all-knowing and all-powerful goddess. Then we have the unexpected. We have the world dragon, and this says arranging a comfortable environment. And then we have answering the call. The time is now. Right away, I want to say that deer could be an important symbol or an important spirit animal for this group. The time is now. And you can see this person is like running out of a gate. So maybe time for you to leave somewhere, maybe time to leave something. It is time for you to leave something behind, or it will be time to leave soon because your new environment is ready. Interesting. So what I'm seeing for my group number 3s is that there is something that you are meant to walk away from, but it's something where you would need the next thing to be set up for you. So, for example, if you're like breaking up with someone, it's not like you need your next significant other to be lined up for you before you break up with them. But if you, for example, if you left a job, maybe you need your next job lined up before you leave your current one. Or if you want to leave your apartment, you need your next living place lined up before you can leave it. There can't really be an in-between. And it's something of this nature that you are going to leave. Probably like a career or a living situation, or maybe there's something else you can think of that fits that description. Some of you maybe have felt like you've been wanting to walk away, but you've been kind of hesitant, or you're not really sure whether the time is right. For others of you, you maybe have even been in an energy of like, I know that I'm going to leave at some point, but I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Like, I don't really want to leave anytime soon. That's kind of how I feel about my current apartment. Like, I know that at some point in my life, like, I'm not going to stay here forever, but I also would like to stay here for the time being. But what's going to happen, I think, is that you are receiving this download out of the blue that comes in the form of like an unexpected urge of like, it's time to leave. It's time for me to put an end to this phase of my life. And you might not really understand where this comes from. It's just like a strong urge of it's time now. And the reason that you are receiving this download, the reason that you are feeling this urge is because your spiritual team is finished preparing, arranging the comfortable environment for you. They are ready. They have prepared the arrangement so that this transition can be smooth for you. And the place that you are meant to move to from here is now in the perfect condition to welcome you. Does that make sense? Like, the new place is ready for you. So in the case that you're like leaving your living situation, your spiritual team is saying, well, we have a perfect place for you, but it's not ready for you yet. Like, maybe there's someone still living there, or maybe like there's some work being done on it right now so that it will be in tip-top shape for you. And now it is ready to receive you. And so we told your higher self to let you know in the form of this very strong urge. You as a human might not realize that, oh, like my next environment is ready for me. It's time to leave. I think to you, it just feels like this inexplicable feeling of like, I have to go now. I must leave now. It is time. And, you know, same thing with a career. There may be like your dream perfect job that is out there for you, but again, someone is still in that position, or maybe the company didn't even exist yet. So it's like, yeah, you could leave your current job, but like, where would you go? Your dream job isn't ready yet. So there's no need to do anything yet. We're still getting the new environment ready for you. And I think that's something important to note for those of you who have felt bad about your indecision. It's almost as if even your hesitation was divinely guided. If you were hesitant to walk away, it's because your soul knew that it wasn't time yet. And so there's no need to judge yourself like for not being able to make the decision. It's because your soul hadn't been informed yet that the new environment was ready for you. So it's like, what's the point of leaving now? So even in those moments where you were, what should I do? I don't know if it's time yet. I don't know when the right time is. It's almost like that was all divinely guided. That was all you making the right call. We really don't see most of what goes on behind the scenes. And I think it's just important to remember that we don't know enough to judge our feelings and our thoughts and the choices that we might make. There's something more intelligent. This is the all-intelligent, the all-knowing, all-powerful goddess, aka your higher self. And they're always working. They're always working within us, whether we realize it or not. Even if we feel like we're stumbling, we have no idea what's going on. So I think the best advice for you is trust, like if you haven't made changes yet, it might not be time. And to not kick yourself of like, why haven't I made the change yet? Why haven't I like gotten up and done something about it yet? Why haven't I started on this endeavor yet? It may not be the time. It may not be the best time for you to make this change for yourself and for the world that your actions will impact. Yeah, don't be quick to judge yourself, because your spiritual team has been having this plan. And you will know very soon when it's time from this unexpected urge. Very interesting. So let's get into your tarot now. And see what else you need to know about this situation. My group number 3s. What else does group number 3 need to know about the blessings coming their way? So we are starting off with the Hermit. I am going to be just putting little crystals on these cards because I don't know how YouTube feels about like illustrated chests, but just to be safe. What else does group number 3 need to know about these blessings? Then we have the Moon. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. Then we have the Queen of Wands and more boobies. I guess it makes sense because this is the Divine Feminine. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Star, and I'm gonna put a little star on top. Okay, group number 3s, this is a pretty specific energy. The biggest blessing I'm seeing that is coming your way is that life is about to be less tiring for you, or I should say it's not going to be a tiring experience. I feel like a deep fatigue when it comes to this group, and this could be physical, mental, emotional, all of the above. Some of you could be in an energy of burnout, or you feel like you're on the verge of burnout. You could just be physically not feeling 100%, and that's kind of the norm for you. And for some of you, there's even this feeling of like, why does everything take so much of my energy? Why does everything feel like a chore? Why are like the simple tasks of my day-to-day life so exhausting? Why am I so tired? There's this kind of heavy feeling with this group, and I feel like there's some sort of energetic reset that is happening for you, where all of these things that have been draining your energy are being lifted. And I can see this with the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Wands. First of all, the 10 is the completion. Like in the Minor Arcana, it goes from 1 to 10. So this is the last card in the cycle, and the Ace is the first one. So we can see here, it's very much like an out with the old, in with the new. And also just the energy of these cards. This is being burdened. This is being exhausted, being overworked, having this heavy load to carry. And then the Ace of Wands, it's so vibrant, it's so light, it's so full of life, it's enthusiasm, it's motivation, it's energy, it's a zest for life. Like these two energies are so different, and I feel like you have this Ace of Wands in you, but it's been weighed down. There are certain things that have been really taking your energy away, whether that's like your responsibilities, things that you have committed to. It could be like mental things that have been taking your energy away. Like if you have a lot of tabs open in your brain, if you have a lot of, this is kind of weird wording, but like programs installed in your brain that are leeching your energy. The source of this fatigue, or like what is taking your energy away, it could be different for those of you who chose this group, but I think those being brought to light is a part of your blessing. They need to be brought to light so that you can clear them away. And with the moon here, I do think that maybe they are things that are not so obvious. The moon tends to be things that are going on behind the scenes. So a lot of these things could be like subconscious, or they could be psychological. Actually, I don't know why it took me this long to realize this, but the moon can talk about like your sleeping. So it could also be like the quality of your sleep or the amount of sleep that you're getting. I just have a feeling that, with the moon, it always goes deeper. I do have a feeling that it goes a little bit deeper than that. It could be something like mental, emotional, spiritual. It's not just something physical. It's not just something as simple as like, oh, just sleep more. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. But I think that this next period of your life is about finally figuring out what has been taking your energy away. And I think another blessing is even just the truth that life is not, it doesn't have to be inherently hard, or it doesn't have to be inherently exhausting. This might be something that you have accepted as your norm just because you've gotten so used to it, but it does not have to be this way. Like, it doesn't have to feel like a chore. It doesn't have to feel like hard work. It doesn't have to feel like things you have to show up for. It can feel like things that you want to do, that excite you, tasks that give your energy and not just take it away. Something that could be happening, or maybe you're in this energy already. I'm taking the energy of this card pretty literally as you going into a hermit mode. And I do think that this is necessary for you guys. I feel like you need space and time to process the bombardment of information that has been coming at you constantly. Being out in the world, it's very stimulating, interacting with people. Everyone has different personalities, different energy, different beliefs, different views, different opinions, and you're taking all of that in. If you're on social media, that makes it even worse, because now not only are you taking in the energy of people around you, but like thousands, millions of strangers, and it's all coming at you a million times faster. It's like this perpetual onslaught of information and stimulation that has been coming at you. And even that in itself is freaking exhausting. And I don't think that you're disconnected to your intuition. I think you very much are. But it's like, it just seems like it's been difficult to really carve out uninterrupted, undisturbed time with your higher self. It's like we need just a breather. We need a moment to breathe and reconvene with our higher self, and we need to not be taking in information from the outside for a while. I think finding out what it is that you need will be something that is very personal, and it's like something that you figure out in an intimate place with your soul, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Perhaps a blessing that you are receiving soon is like a break from all the noise of your life. Time to just be with yourself. And this is making me emotional. I want to say, like, give yourself permission to unplug, give yourself permission to disconnect. It doesn't mean that you're going to be gone forever. Doesn't mean that you're abandoning people or abandoning the world. It means that you're taking time to tend to your body, to tend to your nervous system, to be with your soul. And that's your right. And you shouldn't feel ashamed about that. And if you need to do this more often than other people, you also shouldn't be ashamed of that. So the first blessing, I think, is this time and space to just be with yourself, to just be with your soul. And I don't think this is one of those situations where, and of course, I'm not knocking taking advice from people, but I don't think this is something where like someone else has the solution for you. It can be like, I know why you feel so tired. It's because you need to drink water, and also, by the way, drinking water is good advice, but I just mean it goes a little bit deeper than that. It takes you, who has been with you through all of your lived experiences, who knows the inner workings of your mind. You know what you need best. And I do feel like this is something, the root of your problems or the root of your fatigue. I do think it's something that you'll realize from within you. It's an answer that your soul will present to you. So the root of this could be deeply spiritual or emotional. For some of you, because we spoke about you like leaving a certain environment, for some of you, it could even be after you leave a certain environment that you realize the things there that were burning you out. It could actually take like the source of your fatigue going away to be like, oh, that's what it was. But we need time to reflect on it and to think about, how am I going to make my life different moving forward to protect my energy and to prevent this from happening again? Like, of course, I'm going to feel overwhelmed sometimes. Of course, I'm going to feel overworked sometimes. But what we're not going to do is go back to that being the norm. We're not going to have that be my baseline anymore. This is going to be my baseline. Feeling energized, feeling excited about life, feeling inspired. Another blessing for some of you is getting back to a creative pursuit that you haven't done for a long time, even if it's just for fun. So maybe you used to love playing an instrument, but you haven't picked it up in a long time. Getting back to that could be a blessing of yours. Getting back to reading books for fun. Like maybe these days you've been reading for work, or reading like for the purpose of improving your life or gaining knowledge, and maybe you're going back to, reading fiction or like watching movies for fun rather than always listening to self-improvement podcasts, which again, nothing wrong with those things, but I think a blessing is like getting back to claiming time for your own pleasure. And exploring creativity, I think, is a big one. And like getting back to an old hobby, getting back to something you once loved to do, I think is a big thing for most of you. With the Ace of Wands, there could also be a blessing coming in that has to do with your physical body. This card makes me think of that sometimes. I can definitely see how your physical health will be improving as you go through this transition. And you could also be starting to feel more confident in your physical body, which could or could not be because of a change in your physical appearance. It doesn't have to be. You could be, you know, in the same body and just feel more comfortable in it. And yeah, same thing with the Queen of Wands, actually. She very often makes me think of, you know, feeling yourself, feeling radiant, being confident. I do think that for those of you who resonate with the creative message, that you will be sharing your creative works and receiving positive recognition for it, but it's up to you on what scale you would like that to be. Whether you just want to share with your close friends and family, or like share to the few followers that you may have, or even share it on a larger scale. Maybe you even want to build a platform or increase your platform by sharing your creative works. I really think it's up to you, the scale that you want it to be on. But I don't really see you straying from that original motivation that this is for fun, this is for my pleasure. I don't see you entering into an energy of like, how can I shape my work to please my audience? I think you're more sharing like, this is my passion, this is what I love, feel free to come and bear witness to it, and maybe you'll get something out of it. And if it's not for you, then that's okay. Sharing without pressure, sharing without the motivation to make it something like consumable or palatable to a larger audience, and just have it be something that's authentically you. You can just share it with close ones, you can share it publicly, but I do feel like others will be seeing it, and others will be giving you, like, it will be received well. Others will be giving you positive feedback. And then with the star here, this is the bottom of the deck energy. So what this is telling me is that your future is brighter than you realize. Some of you may even be going back to a goal that you once gave up on, or that you never fully completed. And you may be a little bit rusty when you get back to it, but that's okay, because you're doing this for you, and you have all the time in the world. And I think it's done as like a demonstration of your commitment to yourself. I'm not going to be ashamed anymore. I'm not going to deprive myself of my own joy anymore. I'm going to get back to the things that I love. I'm going to get back to the goals that I once have. Some of you guys may be like coming out of a depression, or like recovering from an illness, or it's like there may have been a period where you couldn't do the things that you wanted to do. You didn't have the energy to do them. And now you're getting back to them. And it's like, there may have been a period where like you were afraid to get back to it, because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so rusty. Like, what if I can't do it like before? And then you just kind of put it off and put it off. And I think you're overcoming that. And you're like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be at my peak because I haven't done it for a long time, but I remember how happy it made me. And so even if I try again and I find that I'm back to a beginner level, I don't care. I'm not going to let that stop me from experiencing joy. I'm not going to let things like that make me afraid or make me ashamed anymore. It's like you're claiming back your power by choosing kindness to yourself. That's like, it's actually like you're choosing kindness and gentleness, but that's actually a very bold and strong action that you're taking. It's like a big middle finger to your shame and to your insecurities. Aw, this is an emotional one. But yeah, it's the star. Like, you can rebuild. You can rebuild your energy. You know, the star comes after the tower. So yes, the tower has fallen down, but it can be rebuilt again. I don't know why I'm thinking of this right now, but when I was in school, we had to it was a translation and interpretation school. And so one of our assignments was to interpret like a tour of a temple in Tokyo. And it was crazy. Like on several occasions, we would be studying the background knowledge of these beautiful temples. And a lot of them would be like, oh yeah, this temple completely burned down, or like this temple was destroyed in the airstrikes and it was rebuilt again. And it's like all we see is this stunning, elaborate structure. And to think that it once existed and the whole thing got burned to the ground and people just came together and were like, we're building it up again. It's like, that just makes it even more beautiful, like to know the history and to feel that resilience. And you can rebuild as well to even better to what it was before. And that's the star. That's like reclaiming your hope in a bright future. And this is confirming that your future can be even brighter than you ever dreamed or than you ever imagined. My group number 3s, these are all the messages that I'm seeing for you. So we're going to take it over to the extended now. In the extended, we are going to see the timing of one of your blessings. There's a few things that we talked about in this reading, so it will be up to you which event you would like a specific timing prediction for. Then we are going to see what could impact this timing, what could speed things up, what could slow things down. And then we're also going to answer a yes, no, or maybe question for you. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that is going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, I will link my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the rose quartz, this is going to be your reading all about your next big blessing. And here is the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as the extended. And we're going to start by reading your fortune paper. Then we're going to take a look at these oracle cards to see the nature of the blessing or multiple blessings that are coming into your life. Then we will use the Gentle Heart Tarot, the tarot that you guys chose, to look at further details about these blessings, what they entail, how they'll manifest, what your life will be like, things like that. If there's any advice that you need, we will get it in this part of the reading as well. And then in the extended, we are going to see the likely timing of when your blessing will happen. We're also going to see what could impact this timing. So what could speed things up, what could slow things down. And then we will answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice, including the reason. So that is the reading for today. Without further ado, let's take a look at your fortune paper. A quick note about these: if you watched my previous video where we use these fortune papers, they are pretty silly, so these are not to be taken too seriously. This is just a little thing that we're doing for fun, although there could be some confirmation in some of the messages here. So let's see what our unicorn fortune paper has to say. Okay, you guys got the same as, wait a minute, this one is exactly the same as group number 3's. It's number 67. So each fortune paper has like a number, and then, you know, each one has a different message on it. And of all the ones, because I took these out of like a giant box, and 2 of them are the same. Wow. I don't know if you guys felt drawn to group number 3, but this might be a sign that there's messages for you in group number 3. Or if you're coming here from group 3 because you also felt drawn to group 4, then this is your confirmation that maybe these 2 piles are going to kind of go hand in hand in some way. Luckily, I'm probably going to read this to you guys a lot more smoothly because I've already seen it and I don't really have to like translate on the fly. But you have medium good luck. Your overall luck score is 85 out of 100. And this message for you over here, it says that no matter what you do, time is going to pass. And if you make efforts day after day, they will add up and ultimately lead to significant growth. And it's encouraging you to learn at least one new thing today. And it says that time passes the same for everyone, but your growth is up to you. So everyone has the same amount of time in a day, but what you choose to do with that time and how you choose to grow is up to you. And even if you're just doing little things day by day, they will add up. So don't ever think that like your efforts are going to waste, is essentially what this message wants to say. In terms of your luck in love, this was kind of a mysterious message. It says that your love biorhythm is suddenly going to go up. So I don't know if it's like your luck is going up or maybe your interest in love is going up, but your love biorhythm is going up. And it says to ride the wave, to go with the flow. In terms of your intellectual or like cognitive luck, it says that you will be the second best grade in your class. So whatever it is that you guys are pursuing, like professionally, academically, creatively, when it comes to your skills, when it comes to your intellectual prowess, this fortune paper wants you to know that you are definitely up there. You are very close to being at the top of your field, or you are one of the best in what you do. If you were to change your name, you should change your name to Takuma, which is a men's name, or Honoka, which is a woman's name. These characters for Takuma, this one is like to open or to clear the way, and this is truth. And then for Honoka, this is like an ear, like an ear of corn, an ear of wheat, or I don't know if ear of rice is a thing, but I feel like you can say this about rice too. And then this is like a scent, a fragrance. A job that you would be good at, it says like an emergency responder or like emergency rescuer. In another world, you are like in a parallel universe, you are a master of the spear. And for your zodiac sign compatibility, it says that you should marry a Capricorn, your best friend should be a Leo, you should date an Aquarius, and your pet should be a Virgo. In your past life, see, group 3 and group 4 can't be the same person in the past life, can they? Or maybe you can. It says in your past life, you were Gregor Johann Mendel, who I did look up during group number 3. He discovered the law of heredity, or the law of genetics. Before that, you were a blue whale. And before that, you were an iguanodon. I can show you a picture of iguanodon because I showed group number 3, but it is a dinosaur. This is past life you, right here. And then your lucky color is tangerine orange. Your lucky food is Baumkuchen. I don't know what country this comes from, but it's the cake that's like round and it has a hole in the middle. Baumkuchen. Oh, it's German. It's a German cake and it is a popular dessert in Japan. And your lucky place is under a vending machine. Your lucky item is a point card. Your lucky proverb, this is like narrowly escaping something. Your lucky proverb is a narrow escape. And then, yeah, this last thing doesn't really translate because it's like a language thing. But anyway, so crazy. I wonder if there's 100 different fortune papers. But out of all of them, group number 3 and group number 4, you both got number 67. That's wild. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at your oracle cards to see the nature of the blessing that is coming your way. So to start off, we have the goddess of Lyra, and we have the keywords God consciousness and the energy of creation. Very interesting. So some of you guys may resonate with Lyra and star seeds. My eyes are going to this ring here. Some kind of commitment could be coming your way as a blessing. Also, Leo energy could be significant to this group. Someone with Leo placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I also want to say Chiron in Leo for some reason. Or Leo season, especially the month of August, because we have the number 8, could be significant to this group. Ooh, then we have adventure, an adventure in life. We have the rainbow dragon, and it says the climax is soon. And then we have interesting. So we have adventure and we have wandering path, enjoy the journey. So this group, you are embarking on a journey as one of your blessings. I actually am taking this literally in that you will likely be going on a trip as a blessing, or you'll receive an opportunity that involves like traveling to many different places. I also want to say that a foxes or any kind of cat could be a relevant spirit animal to this group. So that includes, house cats, like I have my little pyrite cat here. This is Baffy, my angel. And it could also be lions, tigers, panthers, leopards, like any kind of big cat as well, I feel is relevant to this group. But yes, it definitely seems like traveling is a part of your blessing. I wonder if some of you guys could be going on a honeymoon. I know that's very specific, but there's like, this really looks like a wedding ring, this diamond ring here, and then we have messages of travel as well. For those of you who are creatives, I think that one of your works is really taking off, and it's going to cause a crazy, unexpected chain reaction in your life. When I look at this adventure, it looks pretty turbulent, doesn't it? Like this kind of looks like a stormy sea. And I mean, it could be indicating that the next chapter of your life is a little bit chaotic, but I think it's more because you don't know where this journey is taking you. But ships, to me, feels like a long-term endeavor. So I don't know where this is taking me, but it's taking me very far. So one easy example of this is like, let's say you are a musician and you just posted a song and you did not really think anything of it. It wasn't really different from any of your other releases. And little did you know, like this song is gonna get picked up and it's played on the radio. And then the next thing you know, you're contacted by a talk show to talk about the inspiration behind the song. And then the next thing you know, you're doing like a press tour, and then you're like touring across the country. Oh my gosh, I just whacked my tripod, sorry. You're doing like a tour across the country and performing your music, and it's like you would have never thought that just this simple act of posting one song would have been a chain reaction to all of these things. Something you put out, it's going to take you places, it's going to take you far. And I feel like this is especially a message for those of you who are creators. Like, one of your works is just going to blow up and bring like a whirlwind of opportunities into your life that you would have never expected. And this is like, enjoy the journey. I really think you weren't planning this, like you don't know where it's going to take you. And another thing is that it could all be happening so fast. So this enjoy the journey, I do feel like it is saying don't worry about the destination and just enjoy the process. But also this is going by really fast, so make sure that you're like taking a moment to just stop and take it all in. And this message still applies even if you are not a creative, even if you are not like making art. This could be a presentation that you do, that after the presentation someone in the crowd comes up to you and they're this like really big important person and they invite you to speak at an even bigger event, and then now you have people wanting to invest in what you're doing, or you're making all these connections and you never thought like on that day you gave the presentation that this would happen. Or maybe there's like, maybe you published a research paper or you published an article. It's just something that you are putting out, something that you are presenting, something that you're performing. It could even be like one day you submitted something to your boss and you thought like, oh, this is just like any other task, but your boss is like so blown away by the work you did that the next thing you know, you're getting a promotion and you're going on this big business trip with important clients. It's like just this one little submission or this one little like publishing of something into the world is gonna take you, like physically take you to more places and bigger places and increase your connections, which then leads to more opportunities. It's just the only way I can describe it is like this big chain reaction. And this card describes it as a climax, which is like a culmination of all this effort that you've been putting in. And I feel like your big break or like your big moment of success is happening in a way that's different than what you planned. And it's kind of just a testament to how you cannot really plan your life. Like, we might pretend that we can plan it because it brings us a sense of security. And maybe it does bring us a sense of direction and where we want to be putting our energy. But at the end of the day, something could just completely come out of left field and change your plans. And I think this is kind of what's happening. And life is just kind of taking you on a crazy ride. Wow, how exciting. So let's get into your tarot now and get some more details about this. But yeah, there's something about like, some of you could be getting engaged, or like if you're single and looking for a partner, this whole crazy journey, one of the things it could do is bring you to a person you're gonna marry. I just had this really specific image of you like at some kind of like conference or like event that you got invited to, and you're speaking to someone who is like really like your senior and who is much older than you. And then they're like, I want to introduce you to my child. And then like you end up marrying this person. That maybe just be for like one of you who is watching, but I just had this really vivid image of like you're speaking to an older person and then they introduce you to their child and it starts a romance. Interesting. For those of you who are already married or you're already with someone, your significant other could be like accompanying you on this journey and supporting you. I also think something you need to know is that you are very charismatic and charming, and people naturally like you. If you were ever wondering like the impression you make on people, people really enjoy being in your company. You could be talking about anything and people will be mesmerized. You have like a very strong magnetism to you. There's also like quite a few people who envy you, but what I'm hearing is that you are either like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's like you're either too naive to notice, or maybe you're even just too humble that you would be like, oh no, like that person, they would never be jealous of me. What do they have to be jealous of? And it's like, honey, come on. Like there's a lot that an envious person could envy about you. Like, have you seen you? That's kind of the vibe. My group number 4 is, what else do they need to know about their blessings? We have the 6 of Cups. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, something you need to know as well. You are blessed with energetic protection. So even as your life is fast paced and there's a lot of changes, and you'll probably be interacting with all kinds of people with different kinds of energy, your spiritual team is helping you to stay grounded, to stay in your own energy and to keep your energy protected. So you don't have to worry about any like negative energy latching onto you. I'm hearing like energetic sovereignty, I think is the word. Like you're staying anchored in your own energy and no one can mess with it. You may also be having prophetic dreams during this period. You may dream about a certain physical environment and then find yourself in that place like a month later and be like, I've literally seen this place before. Pay attention to your dreams for creative inspiration as well. We have the 9 of Cups. You are definitely very attractive to people. I'm seeing you as this Queen of Cups, and then this is like, I mean, this could be a specific person, but I feel like this is representing onlookers who are just watching you and mesmerized by you, and they want you. They either want to be you, or they want to be with you, or they want to work with you. You are very, very attractive at this time. Cancer energy could be significant as well. Someone who has Cancer placements, or someone whose like zodiac sign is next to yours, if that makes sense. If you're not familiar with astrology, that basically means that their birthday is like a month away from yours, roughly. We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, this is a time of growth, of expansion, this is a time of exceeding your own expectations, like of your accomplishments going above and beyond your expectations. We also have the 4 of Pentacles, more of a sign of protection and remaining grounded. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Wands. Something that is kind of, I want to say it's ironic. I don't know if that's the right word, but I feel like a lot of the things that you are being blessed with during this period are things that you never really prioritized in the first place, that are maybe just kind of like an icing on the cake for you. So one example of this, like if we go back to the musician example, this would be like someone who has always been just motivated by like their passion for telling a story, their passion of like connecting to others through their music and moving people with their message, just the passion of creating in general. Music, 2222, as I'm talking about this, as a form of like self-discovery and stuff like that. And maybe this person just never cared about money, like never wanted to prioritize that, or never cared about getting famous. Not that caring about those things is bad, but this person in this example just never really cared about that. And then ironically, like those are the very things that they will be blessed with. So it's like things that you never really put on a pedestal, maybe I should say. Things that you never really put on a pedestal, that you never really prioritize, that you never like put at the center of your decision making. Like, I feel like you're not the type of person who would put like what's gonna make me the most money, or like what's gonna make the most people like me. I feel like you're more of the type of honoring your soul and honoring your intuition. And yet it's like the very things that you were not chasing that you are now going to be blessed with, whatever that might be for you. Like you weren't, and I think a lot of it has to do with worldly things, if I'm being honest. Like you weren't chasing money and then you're blessed with money. You weren't chasing status and then you're blessed with status. You weren't chasing popularity and then you're blessed with popularity. So it's like you didn't really care. You weren't really looking for these things. And that's not to say that you don't appreciate them at all. I don't mean it like that, but I feel like it's just kind of ironic. It's like when you don't care about it, you manifest it. It's like that kind of thing. Yeah. I also think, like, I'm thinking of the meaning of competition with the Five of Wands. Some of the things that you are achieving here, like the opportunities that you're being offered here, they could be kind of rare. Like not a lot of people get to experience that, but there could be a lot of people who want to experience that. For those of you who are manifesting a partner, you could be entering into a relationship with someone who's in the public eye, or like someone who a lot of people want to be with. You know what I mean? Like someone who's very popular. But I feel like this Queen of Cups is really you, like in the midst of all of this external like busyness and chaos, still keeping to yourself, still staying low key. It's like you're enjoying the experience and you're enjoying the ride, and you trust the universe in bringing you on this ride because you know that it's gonna like serve you and serve others in some way. But like all the flashy stuff that's going on the outside, it really feels like you're not letting it get to your head. I feel like with the Six of Cups as well, it's like you're very firm in, like you're standing very firmly in who you are and in your roots. And I don't really think that any of this is like fundamentally going to change who you are. It's just like a journey that you're going on. With the Six of Cups as well, this could very much be talking about a soulmate union or a soul family union. Another blessing could be getting to see family or old friends that you haven't seen in a long time. Or financial abundance coming in that you can use to help or to benefit family. Like taking care of your parents, or treating treating your children or just taking care of your family members in a way that like it makes you really happy to be able to do that, or like flying family out to come be with you, things like that. You're definitely, throughout this process, you get to be close to loved ones, whether that's like friends, family, your significant other, or on this journey you are coming into union with your soulmates, with your soul family. And you can pick them out easily. It's the people who, again, it feels ironic. It's like, it's the people who are not impressed by all this stuff going on around you, that you'll be able to tell who is your soul family, because it's like the people who are putting you on a pedestal, the people who are wanting something from you, I feel like that will kind of turn you off. And it's the people who like don't care about your success and who are just, you know, treating you like a friend, that you'll know those people are your soul family. We also have the 10 of Wands, which usually this would indicate like having a heavy burden on you, being overworked. I definitely do think you're going to be very, very busy. I want to say almost like pushed to your limit. You are going to be pushed to your limit in terms of your energy, in terms of your capacity. But your spiritual team is showing this as a blessing. So this could be an opportunity for you to realize how much you are capable of. So, for example, let's say you are someone who sleeps a lot. And during this experience, you have been sleeping less. Maybe you used to sleep like 9 hours, but on this journey, you've been sleeping like 6 hours. And past you, before this experience, would have been like really scared to hear that. I'm kind of like this. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna get enough sleep, and then I'm gonna get sick, and I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, and I make myself anxious about like not getting enough sleep, because I feel like, oh, there's no way that I could possibly perform and be present and do a good job with that many hours of sleep. And I feel like there's something in terms of like your limits that you thought you couldn't do, and you're proving yourself wrong. Whether that's like sleeping a little bit less, or like working a little bit longer, or like whatever it might be, there's something kind of rigorous that you're doing, or you're just very, very busy. And it's something that really would have scared past you because you thought that it was like outside of your limits. And I think you're kind of realizing that you are more, like you're more perseverant than you think, or you can like take on more than you originally thought. I really want to be careful with this wording, but I want to say like you're not as fragile as you thought. And I really don't like that wording, because I don't want to say like people who need more rest are like fragile, but I feel like there was a part of you that thought you would fall apart under this kind of like workload, and you don't. Like you rise up to it. Again, not that you should have to do that all the time, but I think it's just kind of a moment of, oh, you know, when the demands on me temporarily go up, when my workload temporarily goes up, I can rise to the occasion and I can handle it. It's something like that. Yeah, and then we have 4 of Diamonds, so definitely you are energetically protected. Also, your finances or your financial situation is protected. You will make a lot of money during this time, and I think that your spirit guides are advising you to just hold on to it. Or like to just take care of yourself and those close to you for now. I guess what they are saying is that it's better to be more frugal or to be more conservative with this money coming in. My mom always tells me when I make money, like, make sure you don't think this money is all yours, because make sure you set it aside for taxes. And you know, you hear stories sometimes of people making a lot of money and then thinking that like, wow, I'm rich, and spending it all, and then the, what is it called? IRS? The CRA, if you're Canadian, is gonna come after you. So just, I think a large sum of money is coming in, and I don't know what's happening, but it looks like your spiritual team is advising you to like be frugal with it, be careful with it, set it aside, like play it safe basically. And it doesn't have to be something scary like taxes or like an unexpected expense. It could be something like a little bit farther down the road. I don't know, maybe you and your new fiance want to buy a house. Like it could be something happy like that. We're saving money because somewhere down the line, we want to make a big, exciting purchase for ourselves and want to make sure we have the funds to do that. It's like, just think about your long-term future. Don't spend it all in one place. It's like that kind of vibe. Yeah. All right. So we are going to take this over to the extended reading now, where we are going to get a timing prediction for a blessing. I know we talked about a few things in this reading, so it will be up to you the specific event that you would like to know the timing for. We're also going to see what could impact that timing, what could speed things up, what could slow things down, and we will also answer a yes, no, or maybe question of your choice, including the reason. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. Group number 4, I'm sending so much love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading, directly and indirectly, and I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.